What's good, Commanders fans? Just want to go over some quick news that came out about Jayden Daniels' injury. Now, they have not done they did some initial testing. This is per Jordan Schultz. So this news is just the initial news. This is not saying whether he's going to play against the Bears or play in the next few weeks or not. This is just like some initial testing that they've done. So I just wanted to go over that because it is positive news. It's positive news. This is good news, and this is positive news. So Jordan Schultz just tweeted out, rookie quarterback sensation Jayden Daniels is undergoing tests today to determine the severity of his rib injury per sources. Initial tests on Sunday showed no fractures, but further tests today and possibly in the coming days will provide more clarity. So, they got to see if there's any ligament damage or anything like that. Dorrance Armstrong went through similar, he had a rib injury. He was out. He went out against the Ravens. Then he missed this week against the, who did we just blow out? The Panthers. So, I'm not going to sit up here. I wouldn't be surprised if Jayden does miss this week. I know selfishly everybody wants to see him play against the Bears because the Bears fans have just been obsessed with him. He's been living rent-free in their minds. And the Bears fans don't even support their quarterback enough to vote for him to win Rookie of the Week when we definitely do that for our guy. And he's clearly the front runner for Rookie of the Year at this point and has a foot in the race, 2 feet in the race for MVP at this point, if he can stay healthy for the rest of the year and keep doing what he's doing. So, but there is this guy who's a doctor. He's like a fantasy football doctor. He says, great news. This is Jesse Morris on Twitter. He says, Jayden Daniels, great news. He reportedly did not suffer a rib fracture because if he suffered a rib fracture, he would be out for multiple weeks, maybe 6 weeks, from maybe longer than that. This is likely a rib cartilage injury, which I alluded to here. These can be painful as the nerves run in this area and they are responsible for so many things. Usually take 1 to 2 weeks to return to play. So week 8 against the Bears is a realistic possibility. If not, definitely week 9 against the Giants. Now, if he does miss the Bears game, we got the Giants next week or the week after, which he would come back in, and we definitely should beat the Giants, no problem. I think, honestly, we can but I think we're going to have a very good competitive game with the Bears if Mariota has to start. I don't want them to rush him back. But, of course, we saw him yesterday. He was cheering. He did the touchdown sign. He was dapping guys up. He hugged Bryce Young. He did things that, maybe he can't move around, but can he run around and throw a football? Because he was grimacing in pain when he was throwing the football. I know everybody's turning into a doctor now. But, yes, we are concerned with our franchise quarterback for sure. So, I'm just going to put this video out now because I know we're all going to be reacting to Dan Quinn, what he says today at 3:30. But I don't think he's going to say anything more than what Jordan Schultz had to say or really what Jesse Morris had to say. Or The Athletic even came out with a report saying that his status, Jayden Daniels uncertain for week 8, status of Commanders quarterback ribs may not be known until Wednesday or Thursday. So, we'll see. I know Justin Herbert had a similar injury a couple years ago. He played through it. Dorrance Armstrong had a rib injury, but every injury is different. You don't know what it is, cartilage, a bone bruise, whatever. So they're going to find out more with the MRI later on today or maybe even this morning. They may find out, but they're not going to find out any more information until Dan Quinn says anything. And honestly, Dan Quinn may not say anything at all. He might keep everything close to the vest and behind doors. I think what he's going to say today is just that there's no fracture. If I had to bet money on it, is that's all he's really going to say. And that's all he really has to say at this point is that, hey, we got some tests, there's no fracture, and we'll evaluate Thursday. Now, Wednesday is the day that they practice, so we'll see what happens. If he is a DNP on Wednesday, if he's a DNP on Wednesday, then I think it's not looking great. A DNP on Wednesday, DNP again on Thursday is probably not looking great for Sunday. But like I said, the eyes on the prize is the long-term vision. So I'm preparing myself personally if he is out on Sunday. I'm preparing. I'm not going to be surprised or anything like that because, it's a long season. We need him there for this playoff run that we're trying to go on to. And like I said, we got the Giants next. Just looking at the schedule anyway. So it's the Giants and Giants. Who the freak else do we play after the Giants? Pulling up right now. Giants, Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys. So this is actually like kind of the tough stretch of the schedule here. So it is kind of tough. Like Giants, we should win that game. But the Steelers, you just don't know because they play hard. And the Eagles are a talented team, and it's a road game. And the Cowboys at home, we should beat them at home, but it's a divisional game, so you just never know. The Titans at home on December 1st is the game where we should blow them out for sure. But you guys get the point that it's a long-term run. I wouldn't just rush them back for one game. against the Bears just because it's a rookie rivalry or Twitter rivalry at this point. So I wouldn't do all that in the race for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Could be impacted by that game for sure. It really could be. It definitely could be if they play head-to-heads. Whoever comes out on top, I know they could definitely create a narrative. Whoever wins that game or who plays better in that game. But yeah, like I said, Dorrance Armstrong had the rib injury against the Ravens, and he missed the game last week. But Dan Quinn did say some positive things about Dorrance Armstrong. But like I said, it's tough to compare those injuries. And like I said, the injury that Justin Herbert had as well. So we'll be seeing what happens with the CT scan and MRI and stuff like that. But Mariota did a good job. He picked up the slack. Want to give more credit to him, man, because he played well. I know it was against a terrible, awful Panthers defense, which is the worst defense in the leagues between them and the Jaguars. And our defense has gotten better. But at times, with those first 3 or 4 games of the season, that's when our defense was awful. But I got to give credit to Marcus Mariota. So if he does have to play on Sunday, I think we will be in the game. We will have a puncher's and a fighter's chance to win that game for sure. And I think we're already a 1-point underdog, which is ridiculous in my opinion. But I think the books are looking at it as like Mariota may be the starter. I think that's the way. Because if Jayden's the starter, we should be 3, 4, 5-point favorites, in my opinion. So just looking at the play that he did get injured on, it definitely was that play where he had the 49-yard run. I know a lot of people are saying instead of him cutting it in, like cutting back, he should have kept going outside. And it's hard to disagree with that. If he would have went outside and went out of bounds, I think he would have avoided the injury, but he decided to go inside. And, he did the stiff arm, he got down, he got rolled up on. And then Cliff, for whatever reason, ran him again. It didn't really matter. He was hurt anyway after that. But you can see him hold his ribs after he did a handoff to B-Rob. He was holding his ribs. And then you saw him on the sideline throwing the football. He was grimacing. And then he threw his helmet. He was pissed. And, I know his mom tweeted out that he's okay. She said he's fine yesterday. But it all comes down to an MRI test and stuff like that. It's so funny. Shout out to Redskins Review. That's my guy. I haven't seen him in a while. I used to see him a couple of times. Out in Baltimore, he was like he doesn't care if somebody's mom tweets out he's fine or a player says that they're fine because of what happened in the past with Darius Geis with the torn ACL. Geis was like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm good," and then next, the test came out as a torn ACL. So it's a wait and see approach. I do think Jayden will definitely, if not this week, I think he will play against the Giants. So I don't think it's that serious like the Darius Geis injury. But once again, it's a wait and see approach. Positive vibes, of course, as everybody's saying. If I could give my rib away to Jayden, I would do it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a part of that group. If I could give Jayden one of my healthy ribs, I would definitely donate it to Jayden Daniels so he can keep this going, so we can beat the Bears and shut their fans up for sure. But all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. As always, positive vibes, positive energy over Jayden, and prayers and everything, so he can be back by hopefully this week. But if not this week, then at least the Giants game. So we'll see. But once again, we're gonna have to wait this out. Really till Friday. That's what I think. I don't think an announcement is going to be made until Friday, and I wouldn't announce it either. So, the Bears they're going to prepare for either quarterback, and the good thing is that Cliff's offense, his college offense, that is number 1 scoring in the league, and we have the best point differential in the league right now. His offense, and that's good GMing by Adam Peters. He got a guy in Marcus Mariota that does similar things to Jayden, has a similar athletic skill set. Of course, Jayden's more athletic, but Marcus Mariota is an athlete too. He's super athletic. We saw what he did in Oregon. I know it was years ago. Or in the NFL with the Titans too. He had a couple good running games. But they got a quarterback where it's like you don't have to totally change your offense. You can keep doing what you're doing, a read option, zone reads, RPO, stuff like that. He can do the design runs with Marcus Mariota as well to keep the Bears defense on their toes and keep that up-tempo, no-huddle offense going, which it worked really well against the Panthers yesterday. So that was good GMing by Adam Peters. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, hell to the Commanders. And I do remember when we signed Marcus Mariota, everybody's like, oh, we're not going to draft. Like, people would get upset when I was like, that was a sign that we're drafting Jayden because they want to get a guy with a similar skill set as a backup. They got Driscoll in there, too. So Driscoll may have to be activated and promoted to the active roster. But once again, I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. But it's hard not to because we're all excited and we're a darn good team. As always, hell to Commanders. Peace.